Hey, it's Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and it's Tuesday. It's July 30th. This will be our chart lesson for the day, and um, today was almost a repeat of yesterday. We had a downtrend early, and soon after the open, we kind of bounced and just had kind of a weak rally into the rest of the day, taking back some of it. We actually closed down again today. This is where we closed yesterday, so we closed down 8 or 9 points, something like that. But there were plenty of trades in here today. A couple early on, and then the rest of them were on this trend here. And this is actually, it's going to be a midline in here. Right in there somewhere. So it doesn't really help you or change much, but it's there. But anyway, we had the channel coming down. We had the break, a couple of legs down. There's actually two legs in this second leg down, and then we bounced. Looked like we were going to have a real steep spiking channel. It's still a spiking channel, but it kind of flattened out. Finally got a break here, and then an overshoot, and then we kind of just went sideways into the close. Maybe we're still bouncing a little bit up through there. This is still, this channel's kind of still trying to be in play here. But let me back out just a little more. We'll talk about the trades and wrap it up. A few more trades today than we've had the last couple of days. There's a little more volume today, maybe not a whole lot, but I'd say there's a little more volume today. It didn't slack off as, we had a little more volume into the close than we have been having. Like if you go back here and look yesterday, really from noontime on, that's all we had right through there. And if you look today, from noontime on, we had quite a bit more volume. Definitely more movement, but that's probably because we had more volume. So anyway, let's talk about the trades. Early on, we were trending down. 7 o'clock came right in this little rally, this little two-legged correction here, and we actually got a strong close outside on a second entry short right here. Notice that low first entry and then second entry, and that's a perfect setup. A nice bullish bar right off the EMA on a second entry short. Quick, easy move down. And then even though we went lower here, that's still really two legs back. And this is a trap. When it broke higher right here and then turned and went down and went right out the other side. This is close to being green because you're having to go short way down here very close to the low of the day. But I guarantee you this traps some people at the open. And that turns out to be a good move. Again, it's close to being green. You could probably argue for it, but I like it. I even like this trade a little bit, but the only problem with it is it closed right into the EMA. But if it breaks higher, it's probably going higher. It's one you could probably put down because we've actually had a break here of this channel, and we've had two measured legs down. There's leg one. You can see leg two. I mean, we basically had a measured leg down and a double bottom, and this actually broke lower right here and then turned and went out the other side too. So I like that entry. It's a little aggressive. You're trying to pick a bottom. You're better off to wait on the reversal pattern, which actually doesn't come till right here. Notice you're moving up. You get a first entry, and then you get a second entry when it broke lower and it turns back up. If it breaks higher there, that's a failure. That was a nice entry. You get another second entry here that looks a lot like that one. Notice that new high, pull back first entry, and then it pulls back. When it breaks higher, there's second entry. I would have liked it better if it broke lower and maybe trapped some people, but it didn't. Still a good setup. It's right off what looks like to be a trend line if you drew it off those first two swings. It really didn't get a good confirmation till here, but then you don't have a very good signal bar, so there's no entry there. But these two are almost two repeat patterns. We run up and now we come down and we get a break here, and you get a first entry long, you pull back, and it actually got a second entry long right there, but that's the first break of that trend line, and I'd be looking for this to go lower. I'd be a little careful about going short right there. But when it broke lower, that's a trap. It's tempting to go long right there, but at this point you don't know if you're starting to look sideways there, and it may trap you to the could trap you to either side. But when it broke lower right there and turned back up, I like going long there. That was a nice quick trade. You only got a scalp out of it, but it was a nice quick trade. And you're looking for prices. I mean, you can see this channel here. You're looking for prices to possibly go up and make a new high, which they end up doing right here. But we really just kind of got into a flatter channel. So that was a nice move right there. I like that entry. And then you get another repeat of it almost right here. Same thing again. There's actually a second entry here, but you have to go long above that bar right there. It actually turns, goes back, and then ends up closing up here. I like entering right there. You might have waited on this bar and let it break higher and put your limit order back here where it would have been one tick above that bar. It would have come back and filled you. Either way, you could have done that one either way. And then you're kind of going sideways up here. It was tempting to enter short right here, but it didn't break higher, and this is such a big bar. You could argue for that one, another one that you could probably at least say was green, because you're probably coming back to here. And notice how we're going back and forth above and below the EMA. You can trade that both ways. Even though this is basically has a little upward bias, you could still trade this both ways. As long as prices are swinging back and forth above and below the EMA, you can trade it both ways. So you just need a good setup, which this one finally pushed through the EMA and pulled back, and then that's a big bearish bar. And you got plenty of room to get out here. And of course it bounces right off that trend line that's bounced. It really got confirmed here, and this is just further confirmation. But I'd want a higher low, and it actually breaks lower here and turns and goes out the upper side. I like going long there. And I really, you really would think it would go up here and hope that it goes up here, but it doesn't. And it ends up making a little long trap right there. And if you were not long, if you didn't get fooled to the long side there, I like going short. But that's an inside bar. You got 3 bars stacked up there, and this is an inside bar. I think you're better off to sit tight and not, when it broke higher there, not go long there. Really, for all intents and purposes, your new low is here. So there's a first entry, second entry. So when it broke higher right there, that's really your failed second entry short if you're looking for that reversal. And then we just had 3 or 4 bars stacked up. But when it broke higher there and turned and went out the other side and then closed on its very low, I like going. You could have had your sell stop right below that, or waited. I'd probably wait on this one to get confirmation that it's really going to close down here. And then I like going short right there. And then it just starts kind of dancing along here. You don't know what to do. You're kind of stuck in limbo here. But when it finally makes this third push down and a higher low and closes way up here, very positive. I like putting a buy stop there. And if it breaks above there, then you'll go along with it. And that was probably the trade of the day. You would have an easy runner on that one. And of course we get up here. We actually had the break of the trend line. Now we got a new high, and we actually get an overshoot up here. And you get your reversal pattern right here. Notice your high, first entry, and then it's running down, and it pushes through the EMA, pulls back, gives you a failed second entry long, a big bearish bar. I like going short there. And it is right off that trend line. Everything's still closing inside. And you would expect it to come at least to here, but we've had a break in new high, so it may just keep going lower. And this was, again, a pretty good move. You wouldn't have got a runner on this one, most likely, unfortunately, because it does come back here. And this is right after 2 o'clock, but it's so close into the 2 o'clock hour, I went ahead and marked it. Even this one was at, what time was this one at? 2:17. You might even consider that one. It pushed through the EMA, pulled back, or the midline, and tests it, and comes right off the EMA. That's another one. It's starting to get a little into 2 o'clock hour, though. I'll make it green. If it's right there at the 2 o'clock hour, and it's a really good setup, and the price action is pretty obvious, which this is what it's doing. It's just going from high to low to high to low. on this channel, then you might take it right into 2 o'clock hour. But yeah, that's basically a repeat pattern from yesterday. It's really what we had yesterday, a big leg down, and then we went into that kind of sideways upward channel into the close. And we did the same thing today, except we had a lot more volume. And this was a little bit bigger sell-off, but a little bit bigger, more volume, a little bigger rally going back up again. So just a repeat pattern for the most part. Back out a little more where you can see it. But yeah, that's what I saw today. A lot of trades today, a lot of opportunities. All you need is a couple of them. You can do well. But yeah, we're going to wrap up. Tomorrow's the 31st, so we'll wrap up another month. Basically, almost wrapping up the summer. We're going into August now. School will be starting back. People will be coming back from vacation. Things should start picking up over the next few weeks, so be prepared for that. A lot of times August can have lots of fireworks. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up for today. We'll be back again to do it tomorrow. I'm done for today. This is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.